And then we hear a rustle. Like we hear some twigs popping, snapping behind us, and we're like, oh shit. This is Herring Run Park. It's my favorite local park. It's just a couple minutes from my house. And today is a hike with me, story time. This story is about a backpacking trip. Me and my girlfriend, just the two of us, two black women, decided to go to West Virginia and backpack for the 4th of July weekend. She's experienced, I was experienced, and the first day at least, nothing significant happened. Like it was actually the 4th of July. And we were hiking into our campsite and just chit-chatting, saying like, girl, nothing spectacular is happening. What's going on? Like, this has been okay. So we decided to make a good day out of it anyway. Get to our campsite, put our stuff up, pitch the tent, get everything together because we were going to do a sunset hike and watch the sunset across this meadow, then start a fire, and then come back out and do some stargazing. So that's what we do. Get everything set up. We head out to our sunset spot, and we're chit-chatting, having a good time, kiki-ing, and I see a big bird in the meadow. And I go to point to her and say, girl, you see that raven? Because ravens is, you know, significant to Baltimore City, but we don't have to. But when I went to go say, girl, do you see those ravens? Two bears cross the path in front of us, and they're like tussling and playing, and they don't see us at all. But me and my girlfriend are completely stuck. I'm like, do you see those bears? Right? So I don't know what to do. She and I freeze. The bears go across the path. They never see us. And I turn to her and I'm like, girl, what do we do? What do we do? Now, luckily, we happened to turn behind us and we saw that there was another couple, I believe, coming behind us. So we decided to wait for them, and we would all walk together to, you know, safety in numbers to get to this sunset spot. So we make it safely, and we see the sunset. It's absolutely gorgeous, but then we have to go back. We have to walk back the same trail and perhaps run into these bears again. Now, what made it really scary was they were small. So it was two small, to me, bears. And two small bears, my mind immediately goes to one big black mother bear that I don't want no smoke with. So we had to have a strategy on what to do when we had to go back to go to our campsite. And that strategy was, okay, they're black bears. Black bears are different from grizzly bears in that you can scare them off. You can scare off a black bear. So our plan was to go back, make a lot of noise. We sang a song. What do we sing? I don't know. So that if we encountered the bears, again, they would hear us first, maybe scurry off, maybe try to hide, and we could just avoid any type of conflict. And that's exactly what we did. And we saw the bears and they saw us, and we went in different directions. And it was all fine, but to be safe, right? Like, if you're gonna go backpacking, you wanna be safe in all areas, and that includes from the possibility that you might encounter a bear, and you should have bear spray. Okay, if nothing else, have bear spray. That is enough to deter a bear from wanting to attack you, which they're unlikely to want to do unless they have cubs. And you can get out of there. Don't run from a bear. Make yourself look big if you have to. Like, if you don't have bear spray, make yourself look big, make noise, don't scare them. And then we get back to camp safely. And the ironic part about it is, when you're backpacking, you're supposed to do a bear hang at night so that you don't accidentally attract a bear to your tent because you have food in it. And since we were so doubtful that we would see bears, we were not very bear safe in the way that we contained our food. And like, our bear hangs were janky. They were not up to par. And after that day, we had our bear hangs on point.
All right. There's another part to the story.
There's the last part to the story.
Okay.
And that is, like I mentioned before, we wanted to see the stars that night because it was the 4th of July, and that was the way that we were going to celebrate in the backcountry. We get out to the meadow. Where we for sure saw bears twice. I don't know what made us think that it was okay to go back at night, pitch black. But we did anyway because, you know, it just never crossed our mind to be scared. At least not mine. So we're sitting in this meadow in the middle of the night, waiting for the sky to get dark enough to see stars. And to watch like the sky, to watch nightfall is really interesting. I recommend everybody to watch nightfall. Anyways, we're watching nightfall and there's a ton of fireflies. So we got our like lightworks. We got our fireworks. We have our fireworks with the lightning bugs. We have nightfall. We have stars coming down. We're having a great time. We're kikiing. We have our headlamps with us, but they're not on because we want to maintain the darkness. And then we hear a rustle. Like, we hear some twigs popping, snapping behind us, and we're like, oh shit. The bear has not even crossed my mind again at this point. And then I realize we're sitting in the middle of this meadow where we've seen bears twice already, and it's pitch black. Okay, so immediately I'm like, oh my God, there's a bear behind us, and I freeze. Jess, my girlfriend, she's brave enough to get her headlamp and turn it on. And when she turns it on and looks behind us, it's a damn deer. We cracked up and got the hell out of there. And we went to bed after that.
That's funny. That one is funny. It's a good story.
That's a good story?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.